Whew, mercy. I got these things here in my ear. Maybe I'll listen to one of them while I'm talking to y'all. I don't know, that's distracting as all hell, actually. All right, I'll just hang on to them until I get up. Put them away. Yeah. All right, so I train very instinctively. I didn't train that way since like day one, but once I found my way and realized what worked and built some muscle, once I knew what I was doing, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen overnight. That took I don't know how many years, but I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but I was into it a ways, before I really figured the shit out for myself. Prior to that, I was just following other people's routines out of magazines and crap, trying to. But once I started to listen to my own body, that's when I made the most progress. So I've always trained ever since. I train pretty instinctively. I'll get ideas from other places. So I switch up my workouts constantly. Like there's no, I'm not powerlifting, so I'm not training in some kind of program, fashion, like 5x5, or I'm not doing any of this kind of thing. So what I'm doing is, which is kind of odd, having been as strong as I was back in the day, and that I did train with almost exclusively with powerlifters. But we would train together whatever the big central lift was of that day, and then we would we'd diverge. I would go my way; they would continue on what they're doing. Well, there's some of my buddies, like Jeff McVicker, for example. He had a really good physique. He won a bodybuilding show even, so he was concerned with aesthetics as well, and he did more what you would consider bodybuilding type shit than you would expect a powerlifter to do. But it showed. I mean, he had a great physique. Of course, all the density, that came from all that heavy ass weight. Just like back in the day, all my density, it was that heavy weight. So today I use a lot more muscle confusion, and I know it's going to trigger some people, having that it's like one of these alleged and claimed Weider principles, but you can call it whatever you want and you can attribute it to whoever you want to attribute it to. It's probably been around forever and ever. But muscle confusion, and what that just is that I switch up my workouts a lot. I never do two of the same workout back to back. Like for instance, if this week's, whatever I do this week, back day, I train every body part once a week. But the way that I train, there's a lot of crossover shit there. Like I've said in other videos, so I'm not going to get too far into it here, but I believe it gives you better separation and better delineation. When there's a certain amount of spillover. So, yeah, it's just the way that I do things. And it's worked for me, so, But in my version of muscle confusion just simply equates to whatever I do for back this week, that workout won't be anything, will not be the same workout next week. Whatever I do for chest this week, it won't do the same next week, and vice versa, so forth, so on, no matter what the body part is. I'm constantly switching it up. For one thing, I get bored easily. I've been doing this damn near 40 years, so, I get bored. So I want to keep it fresh, and I want to enjoy myself, so I'm not stuck in any kind of strict concrete regimentation. I know what I need to achieve. There's a feeling and a condition that I'm after, the condition being the amount of stress, what I have to level upon that muscle, what I got to put that muscle through, so that at the end of the day, the end of the workout, that muscle has been stressed to the degree that I believe it needs. It's been fatigued to the degree that I've learned over 4 decades that it needs to be for me to get what I want out of that workout, for me to profit from it. So this now I just switched my back workout up pretty good. So right now, some of it's a little unconventional. I do some real unconventional shit with arms. I'm going to get into that in another video now. And I always have to different degrees, varying degrees, but I'm always switching it up. I'm always trying new things. Even to this day, I'll try exercises that I've never done before in 40 years. Yeah, there are still some. And I'm not talking about a bunch of crazy shit. I'm talking about stuff that actually works. So in this workout, the first exercise I did, and I will also split my back up. You know, during the week, if this week is a heavy week for me, then next week, you know, my next, and it doesn't have to be in a cycle. It might be once a week. It might be once every, instead of once every 7 days, it might be once every 5 days, you know, sometimes. So when I say I train everything once a week, that's not entirely accurate, but it can be. I go by feel. Again, it's totally instinctive. It's how the body's recuperating and recovering, what it feels like, what my joints feel like, what I feel like I need to do. If I can bang on and put the workouts a little closer together, and my body can withstand that, and it can recover as thoroughly as it needs to for me to make gains, then that's what I do. But if it needs a week, then I'll give it, you know, one body part a week. So it depends. But if I have a heavy week this week, next week won't be such a heavy week. You know what I mean? I'm only going to go, especially at my age and all these years and years of pounding on my body, I'm only going to go heavy every other week, really heavy. You know, sometimes, and there'll be a rare occasion where I feel really good, I might go heavy. I used to go heavy sometimes every week, you know, very heavy. But that's been years now since I've been able to do that, really, or since I should be doing that. So let me get to what I'm trying to get to here. First exercise today, barbell shrugs from the floor. So essentially what it is a deadlift, but once I come up, I only do one rep. You know, I pick it up from the floor, I stand up, I shrug it, you know, 15, 20 times initially. I like to keep the reps up there, and then I set it down. All right, that's one set. No wraps, no straps, none of that bullshit. Then I'll go ahead and, you know, I'll add weight, and I'll do it again. You know, I'll sit it down and rest, I'll add weight, I'll do it again. And I'll do this until I've gotten to the place, you know, where my muscles have warmed up well enough that I'm pulling an acceptable amount of weight, and I'm shrugging a reasonable amount of weight now. When I finish doing deadlifts and shrugs, then I will come over and do John Meadows rows. Meadows rows. Mountain Dog, John Meadows. If you don't know what that row is, I'll put a little clip of it in here. I'll superimpose a little clip here. Not really me training, but right now, when I shut this video down, I'll go ahead and film a little clip of what it looks like so I can put that in here so you can see for yourself if you're not familiar with it. I'll do John Meadows rows, one arm at a time, but, you know, right behind each other. I'll do the, you know, right arm, and when I set that down, I'll do the left arm. Set that down, then I'll rest. And then that'll be one set, and then I'll repeat, and I'll do, and again, I continue to pyramid the weight up, and I'll get up to, like with the shrugs, the lowest I'm going to go with my deadlifts and shrugs. I'm deadlifting with single rep, but my shrugs I'm trying to keep on the high side. Once my grip begins to fail, then that's when, you know, basically I'm finished. Right now I'm not wearing any straps, any wraps, none of that bullshit. But I have a really good grip. You know, like you'll figure that out in a minute when I get into the rest of this workout. So I'll do the Meadows rows. Then when I'm finished the Meadows rows, I'll take that same setup and I'll turn my body around in position so I'm doing a more quote-unquote conventional type of one-arm row with the same setup. You know, the weights may vary or differ or whatever, but the same deal. And I'll do that again, you know, I'll do whatever, one arm, then the other arm, then rest. One arm, the other arm, then rest. But then after I'm finished that, then I'll start doing supersets. I do a lot of supersets, a lot of giant sets, a lot of that kind of shit, a lot of that. I will go over to the machine and I'll do lat pull downs. So I'll be doing lat pull downs, and as I'm doing lat pull downs, I don't lean way back like a lot of guys do so I can yank the whole stack down on the shit. I don't do that. If I want to move heavy weight, I'm going to stick to barbells and shit like that. You know, the barbell, the most weight you can move, you know, that's going to build mass. That's going to, I mean, real mass. That's going to make you dense. Heavy weight on machines and stuff, yeah, sure, you're going to build muscle, of course. But, and as always, I'll repeat it again for those that aren't down with it, but any body part I do, the first exercise I do of that workout will always be that with which I can handle the most weight. That will be the heaviest workout, the heaviest set, or exercise that I'll do in that workout. And that's why I open with the deadlift. Because that's the most weight that's going to be on a barbell that I'm going to be utilizing in that entire workout, right? Now, and if I were going to do chest, barbell bench. Although I don't do flat anymore, I do at least a little bit of an incline, like a 33-degree incline or so, at least. And again, I'll use a barbell. The heaviest exercise of that workout is going to be the opening exercise. And I follow suit with that with every body part, every workout. While you're fresh, move the most weight you can move. You're only fresh once. If you're fresh through the whole workout, you're not doing anything. If you're not sweating through the whole workout, you're not doing anything. If you're not exhausted and gasping somewhat, you're not moving fast enough. If you were a power lifter and you want to sit on the end of the bench and rest thoroughly before you go again because you're doing maxes and shit like that, I've been there, done that. But for this kind of shit, you don't need all that much rest. You don't need that much rest. So I'll do the lat pull down. And as soon as I'm finished a set of the lat pull down, and my rep range on there is going to be, initially I'm going to be looking for like 15 reps. My first set might be 18 reps. But as the weight gets heavier, it'll drop down to 15 reps or maybe 12 reps. The least amount of reps I'll get to is 10. I won't go any fewer reps than that, no matter how heavy I go. So that'll dictate how heavy I do go. But as soon as I set that, let that bar go, and stand up from that machine, I immediately come back over to where I got this barbell on the floor, Olympic bar, and I'll have 2 Olympic bars here. Okay, I'll set 2 Olympic bars up. And again, I'll set them up with weights on them looking similar to as if I were going to do Meadows rows again, or the rows the way I've been doing them, with one arm. But what I would do is, and I'll superimpose a little clip here, I'll stand bars so that I have a neutral grip. And I'll bend all the way down like a deadlift, and I'll grab the ends of the bars, right? The 2-inch diameter end of the bar. I don't grab it, where it's narrower. I don't grab it. I grab it at the end, all the way at the end where you would load the plates on. That's where I grab it. So I'm going to put more weight on to compensate for that because the weights are behind me, right? But I'll stand up with one in each hand, and I'll do shrugs. And I like it that way, shrugs that way, because I've got that neutral grip, but unlike using dumbbells, I can lean back. And if you try it, you'll feel it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I can lean way back and pull that way. And it's a different feeling. It's a totally different feeling on my trapezius. And your trapezius goes all the way down damn near the middle of your back. It's not just all about up here. So I like that. And then when I set that down to rest from that, and again, my rep range, I might do 15 to 20 reps. The lightest I'll go, the fewest reps I'll go is when I get some weight on there, I may do 10 to 12 reps. But the reps are still, I'm not doing their 6 reps or any kind of shit like that, especially not now. I've already beat them up pretty good. So I don't have any business doing, there's really nothing to be gained from me doing less reps than that for me. So that'll be one giant set. I'll do the pull downs, lat pull downs, and I'll immediately come over and do the shrugs with these 2 Olympic bars on the floor like that with a neutral grip. If you got a shrug bar or something like that, that's cool, but that's not the same thing, because with the bar in this position, these bars like this, like I said, I can lean way back. And if you try it, you'll be able to feel the difference. You'll feel that. And then I'll do that. Then when I'm finished all of that, I'm pretty beat up. Then I'll go over to a pulley that's maybe chest high, and with a rope, like a rope I would use if I were going to do tricep press downs or whatever, pull downs, right? With tricep, I'll use that rope, and I'll have an underhand grip. I won't grab the rope like this. I'll grab the rope under, right? So the ends of the rope are top, and I'll pull, because this way I can spread my hands as I pull. and I pull back. And that I'll go pretty heavy because again, I can lean back. I'm standing up, I can lean back, just like I did when I was doing the shrugs. I'll lean back, and the first set I'll probably do 20 to 25 reps, whatever it takes. So I don't waste a set. All right, like if initially I put some weight on there and I'm figuring I want to do 15 reps, well, if 15 reps isn't enough and I'm not getting the feeling I want, if I'm way off the mark, I'm not going to stand there and do 50 reps, but if I'm feeling it, I'm almost there, but I'm not there. I'm not going to just set that down and waste that set. I'll go ahead and pull 5 more reps or 6 more reps or 7 more reps or whatever it takes. You know, if I intended I want to do 15 reps, I might do 20 reps. I might do 23 reps. It depends. I got to get to where I got to get to, right? If I underestimated the amount of weight or whatever in my current condition or immediate condition, I'll make up for that way. I'll still get that intensity in there. And then I'll rest momentarily and I'll add weight, repeat, and I'll continue to do this. And sometimes I'll lean back, and then sometimes I'll even lean forward for a few sets. And if I lean way forward, I can really direct, you know, what I'm pulling all the way up the middle of my back when I lean way forward. So that's what I do currently for back. Big back in the basement. Big basement back. Big back in the basement. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's the way I'm doing it down here. You know, you can get it done with whatever you've got. I mean, Christ, if you don't have 2 Olympic bars, you know, if all you have are plates and you don't have dumbbells, use plates. Use plates, for God's sake. You know, if you don't have dumbbells, use plates. Just pick a plate up in your damn hand. You probably got some kind of bar. You know, so you may not be able to do exactly what I'm doing, but you can put a plate in each hand with a neutral grip. You know, a plate with a decent lip on it, or a plate that has a handle on it. And if you don't have any of that, you know, you have to improvise, be creative, get creative. There are no real hard, fast rules, you know. Now, when you go to do these shrugs like this, you're going to see what I mean. I put my thumb on the cap of the end of the bar, where I would load the bar, and then I grab the rest of the bar. So that's a pretty large diameter, so I am getting a pretty decent amount of exercise to the forearms there. They're getting a little hair growth out of that. And then I won't do direct forearm work behind this on back days today, but I will do direct forearm work when I do chest and biceps. Chest and biceps sounds bizarre, doesn't it? There's logic to it. There's good reason to it. And I'll explain that one tomorrow. All right. Other than that, I'm out of here. You guys take care and have a great evening.